This country, this economy, and this housing market is on the verge of a total disaster, and I'm going to prove it to you with some stunning facts coming up. Stay tuned. What's going on, my YouTube friends? This is Jerry Abbott, your #1 real estate resource here in beautiful Las Vegas. Hey guys, a couple of real quick things before we dive into the video. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to learn the cold hard facts about the U.S. economy, the U.S. real estate market, and specifically the Las Vegas real estate market, then definitely subscribe to the channel down below. Number 2, if you happen to like the content in today's video, make sure to press that thumbs up like button, guys. That would really help the channel out. And number 3, if you are thinking about relocating to beautiful Las Vegas, whether it's next month or next year, I've got your back. I'm a local real estate agent here. I've lived here for nearly 20 years. I know every inch of this city. When that time is right for you, definitely reach out to me. Just call, text, or email me anytime, and I'll help you find that perfect dream home. Let's dive into the video. So let me tell you something, guys. The cold hard reality is that this economy is a total disaster when you go below the surface. You don't need to be a brain surgeon to realize how obscene the prices are for homes, cars, food prices, and a lot of people are in financial trouble, as you can see right here with some of these statistics. 1 in 3 Americans maxing out credit cards because of inflation. U.S. labor market cooling, unemployment rate rises to 2-year high of 3.9%. Mortgage payment on a typical home nearly doubled in the last 4 years. Now, those are some pretty unfortunate statistics, and when it comes to buying a home, which happens to be the most expensive purchase of our lives, I want to show you in the upcoming graphics how unaffordable it is right now to buy a home in this current market. All right, so I want you guys to first take a look at this chart that I just pulled up. Take a look at the top where it says home buyer housing payments plus 11.3% year over year. Now, what I want you guys to do is take a look at these color lines here. The bottom line here is 2021. The red line is 2022, the orange line is 2023, and the blue line is so far 2024. Now, if we look over here on the left side, you can see right over there, right where I'm moving that small arrow, it says $1,500 and it goes all the way up to $2,750 here on this left side vertically here. So if we take a look down here on this blue line here, we go all the way across over here. When it finished the year in 2021, the average mortgage payment was about $1,600 a month. Then in 2022, you can see the red line where it finished right up here. This finished right at about $2,200 a month. So again, there was a big jump from 2021 to 2022 because interest rates moved up dramatically in that year. Then we had a little bit more of a bump in 2023 where you see the end of the orange line here. This went up to about $2,300 right about there. And then if we go over here to April 7th, right where you see that top blue line, it's now showing $2,747 at 6.82%. So you can see that there was a very big jump from 2022 and 2023 all the way now to start 2024, where interest rates are now still very high. So now here's the thing. When we take a look at this top line number on this blue line where it says $2,747 at 6.82%, that's still not the accurate number because a lot of people are paying well into the 7% range now, some of them in the 8% range. And in the next graphic, I'm going to show you how much higher this number actually is for a lot of people right now who are trying to get a mortgage. All right, so let's first take a look at this mortgage rates calculation page because I want to show you guys really how much higher mortgage rates are compared to what's being reported by the media. Take a look at this top line number here where it says 7.846%. Now, when we go across to the left side there, it says 30-year fix. So the 30-year fixed rate is about 7.8% for the average home borrower that's got a credit score that you can see just above right there of about 700 to 719. So now there's a drop-down menu. So let's hit that drop-down menu. And let's just say you have poor credit down here in the 640 to 659 range. Look what happens to the mortgage rate, almost 8.5%. Now let's just say you have really good credit, 800 and up. Take a look at the mortgage rate now, 7.33%. So again, these are general numbers, but again, it just goes to show you most people are nowhere near 6.8%. Like I showed you in that previous graphic. Most people are at 7.5% or higher. And in the next graphic, I'm going to show you what that translates to into a stunning mortgage payment. All right, so let's take a look at this mortgage calculator page because this is really pretty shocking when you see how much it costs to buy a home and what your full mortgage payment would be on a monthly basis. So let's take a look over here in the top left in that small box there. It says home price. Now I put $465,000 in there because that's the average median home price where I'm located here in the Las Vegas area. Now underneath that, I put in a down payment, $93,000, which just to the right of that, it says 20%. So typically back in the old days, most people would put 20% down. Now most people typically don't put that amount down. The average down payment is really about 10%, but I put 20% down here. So again, just to show you, when you're buying just the average home price here in the Las Vegas area, if you put down the typical 20%, you still have to come up with almost $100,000. Now, underneath that, it says loan term of 30 years. And then underneath that, it says interest rate 7.5%. Now, I just put that in as an average number. And then take a look right inside the blue circle here. $3,007 a month is your full mortgage payment. Now, if we take a look at the breakdown over here on the right side, you can see principal and interest is $2,600, property tax is $300, and homeowners insurance is $100. Now, these are just general estimates, but that's how they come up with that $3,000 a month number in the middle of the circle. But more importantly, guys, just stop for a second and think about this. In order to buy the average home price here in the Las Vegas area at $465,000, if you were going to put down a typical down payment of 20%, you got to come up with almost $100,000 just to get this $3,000 a month figure. Now, in the next graphic, I'm going to show you the same exact breakdown, but I'm going to put in a 10% down payment, which shows you an even higher mortgage payment. All right, so focus your attention over here on the left side in this second box where it says down payment. Now, instead of having the $93,000 amount that I just had in the previous graphic, I put in half that amount at $46,500, which now represents a 10% down payment. Now take a look inside the blue circle right there. The payment went from $3,000 a month to over $3,300 a month. All right, so let's just stop and think about this for a second, guys. In order to afford the average median home price here in the Las Vegas area of about $465,000, you need a down payment of anywhere close to about $50,000 to close to $100,000 just to get a $3,000 to $3,300 a month mortgage payment. And if we go by that calculation, typically your mortgage payment should not be more than 1/3 of your gross income. So going by that calculation, that means you need to be making about $10,000 a month or at least $120,000 a year just to afford the average home price here in the Las Vegas area. And obviously, most people don't make that kind of money. And that's why there's such a huge amount of unaffordability here in the housing market, not just in Las Vegas, but throughout the whole country. Now, here in Las Vegas, where I happen to be located, this is the most popular and most moved to city in the country basically every single month. Home prices have soared here because so many people are moving here, and I want to show you guys some sobering statistics about Las Vegas coming up. So now here in Las Vegas, this article just came out from the local Las Vegas Review-Journal newspaper. You can see the headline here where it says, how many Californians have moved to Nevada since 2020? Now, without a doubt, the biggest reason as to why Las Vegas home prices have skyrocketed as much as they have in the last 4 years is because of the mass exodus of Californians moving to Las Vegas. And I want to show you a little bit lower down in the article here, the stunning amount of Californians that have moved here, as well as other people throughout the country that have made Las Vegas one of the most popular and most moved to cities in the country, and why Las Vegas home prices now have soared as a result of that. All right, so I want you guys to take a look at that top sentence right there that I'm going to highlight. It says nearly 158,000 people relocated to Nevada from California since 2020, making up 43% of all new residents. Now let's take a look at that second paragraph in the last sentence that I want to highlight right here, which says the total number of new residents to Nevada from 2020 through 2023, based on the new data, was 369,878, with 211,893 coming from the other states besides California. So basically over the last 4 years, there's been nearly 100,000 people per year moving to the Las Vegas area. And prior to the pandemic, there was about 50,000 people moving here per year. So again, the volume has nearly doubled in terms of people moving to the city. And again, that's why we're also having a housing crisis issue, because there's far too many people moving here and wanting to buy homes compared to the supply that's currently available. All right, so now to drill down a little bit more specifically into the real estate market here in Las Vegas, I'm on the popular real estate website Zillow. Now, if you guys follow my channel, you know that near the end of each of my videos, I usually go to this popular real estate platform since most people are familiar with it. And I like to show you guys some examples, starting with the ridiculous, which I'm about to do right now with a luxury example, and then work down closer to the average price point. And I wanted to start with this one because this one was really pretty comical. And I want to show you guys first some pictures of this $6 million home here in the Las Vegas area. All right, so this first luxury Las Vegas home for sale might be the most absurd pricing example that I've ever shown you guys on the popular real estate website Zillow. Now, normally I don't show you guys pictures of the insides of the house, but I wanted to show you this home because this one, I know obviously most people can't afford a $6 million home, but this home's a 3-bedroom with 3-bath, 7,000 square foot home on a half an acre of land. And I want to first show you the raw pictures of this home and what you're getting for $6 million, which to me is laughable. So if we scroll down here, we take a look. First of all, The landscaping is completely raw. There's nothing there. And then if you take a look on the inside of this home, take a look at this, guys. The entire home is gutted. There's no inside of the home. You have to do all of the work yourself. And again, what I want to do in the next graphic is I want to show you where this home was actually sold for just a few years ago compared to this current list price. Let's take a look at that right now. All right, so let's look at this absurd price history of this particular home. Take a look down at the bottom left where I highlighted this in blue. Down in that bottom left corner, the date says 4/1/2021. That's 3 years ago, essentially, that this home sold for $930,000. Fast forward 3 years later, 4/1/2024, that you can see just above that blue highlight, and they've now listed it for $6 million, and it's raw. They did not even renovate it. They've done nothing to it. They have the house plans for you to do your own renovation, but they increased the price from $900,000 to $6 million. So I know this is an absurd example and that most people on the planet cannot afford a $6 million home, but to think that this home is worth $6 million after the seller bought this home just a few years ago and did no renovation work to it, these sellers are delusional. This home is nowhere near a valuation of $6 million. And even though this is an extreme example, I just want to show you guys, whether it's a luxury example like this or an average price point, you really got to do your homework and know what you're looking at before you make any kind of bids on homes today. All right, so let's take a look at this second example of a home for sale here in the Las Vegas area. Now, this one might look familiar to you because I just featured this home last week in my video because I wanted to show you guys the price reduction from last week, and now this week they've reduced this home another $40,000. So let's go down below and take a look at the price history here just to show you the dramatic drop off and how much they've reduced this home. All right, so let's look at the price history of this particular home. Take a look at the blue highlight down here and look at the bottom left. That date right there says 3/8/2024. So this home has only been on the market for a little bit over a month, and you can see over on the right side of the blue highlight that this home was originally listed for $825,000. And in the course of just a little bit over a month, take a look just above it. They reduced it from $825,000 to $800,000, then to $750,000, which is where I featured it last week in my video, and now they've dropped it to $710,000. That's over a $100,000 price reduction. In fact, it's a $115,000 price reduction since this original list price happened just about a month or so ago. So there's a reason why I'm showing you guys these examples. When homes are priced properly here, especially in the Las Vegas area, they sell pretty quickly. But when homes are not priced properly, they sit on the market and they go through these series of price reductions. So again, the reason why I show you these examples is because there's still a lot of them that are overpriced here in the Las Vegas area, all the way from the luxury category down to the average price points. All right, so let's take a look at this third example of a home for sale here in the Las Vegas area. Now, this is a little bit more of a modern tri-level type of home with a rooftop deck. You can see on the left side of the screen, this home is currently listed at $649,000, but just above that, in that small red text just above the price point, it says price cut $10,000 at March 1st. So a little bit over a month ago, they did a price cut of $10,000. This is a 4-bedroom, 4-bath, 2,400 square foot home. But again, I want to show you the price history down below to show you the roller coaster ride on this particular pricing of this home. All right, so let's look at the price history of this particular home. Take a look down at the bottom in this blue highlight. The date on the bottom left there says 1/22/2021. So that's a little over 3 years ago. This home sold for $450,000. Now, if we take a look just above it, you see the date right there. It says 9/1/2022. So about 20 months after this home was sold for $450,000, they listed this home for a whopping $725,000. There were no buyers, and then as we go and scroll up here, you can see the reductions. They dropped it to $700,000, $685,000, $659,000, $649,000, and now that's the current list price at $649,000. So again, think about this. Let's just roll the clock back a little bit. About 3.5 years ago, this home was sold for $450,000. Then the sellers tried to get $725,000 for it. They haven't been able to get it. And now it's been reduced all the way down to $649,000, and there are still no buyers. So that's a $75,000 price reduction from these sellers from what they originally were trying to get for the home. So again, this goes back to my original point where there's still a lot of homes for sale in the Las Vegas area that are not selling because of massive overpricing. This home was sold for $450,000 a little over 3 years ago, and even though they've reduced the price $75,000, they're still trying to make a $200,000 profit in just a couple of years. In the history of real estate, that has never happened before, to see that kind of home price appreciation in such a quick period of time. So again, as a buyer, you need to be cautious of what's going on in terms of what sellers are trying to get for their homes compared to true value. So again, this goes back to my original point where there's still a lot of homes for sale here in the Las Vegas area that are still not selling because of massive overpricing. This home just a few years ago was sold for $450,000, and even though the home has been reduced $75,000 in price, they're still trying to make a $200,000 profit in a little over 3 years. In the history of real estate, prices never appreciated that quickly. So again, as a buyer, you need to exercise caution and not just bid on what a seller is asking for their home. All right, so let's take a look at this fourth and final example of a home for sale here in the Las Vegas area. Now we're getting down closer to the average price point, which in Las Vegas is about $465,000. You can see on the left side of the screen, the home price is currently listed at $497,000, but just above that in that small red text, it says price cut of $90,000 just a couple of weeks ago. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,640 square foot home. And again, guys, think about this for a second. This home was listed a little over a month ago for $587,000, and they now know that they could not get anywhere near that kind of price point, and they've done a massive reduction of $90,000, and they're at $497,000 now. So again, the reason why I keep showing you guys these examples is because there's still so many sellers that are overpricing their homes. And if you're a buyer, you need to make sure a real estate agent is on your side that runs comps for you, and eventually you get an appraisal done on the home to know what the true value is. So here's the thing, guys. This country and the people living within this country are massively in debt, and now the job market is starting to weaken while prices for everything remain sky high. My advice to you guys is to save as much money as possible and stop buying any of these unnecessary items. If we collectively did that, prices across the board and throughout the entire economy would finally come down. So before we end today's video, I just want to give a shout out to my favorite comment from last week's video, and that goes to Nathan. Now I'm going to put Nathan's comment up here on screen. I really wouldn't want to consider it my favorite comment. It's really the most shocking and most upsetting comment, but I want to show it here on full screen, and then I'm going to come back on the other side and comment on it. So Nathan says, I work at L3 Harris, a defense contractor. We laid off 4,000 people last Thursday, 8% of the global workforce. I have a feeling rough times are ahead for millions of people. So just imagine being one of those 4,000 workers that were working for a defense contractor, and then all of a sudden you have no more job. What do you do with your mortgage? What do you do with your car payments? How do you feed your family? These are very scary times. That's why I keep telling you guys, when it comes to buying things, especially unnecessary items, don't do it. Sit tight, save money if possible, because you never know what's going to happen, especially with your job. So I want to hear from you guys. I read and respond to all of my comments, so I definitely want you to drop me a comment down below. Let me know what's frustrating you. Let me know if you've been laid off from your job. Let me know if you're having a hard time with your car payments, your mortgage payments. Tell me what's frustrating you. And my favorite comment from this week's video, I'm going to give a direct on-screen shout out to in next week's video. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I also hope you appreciate my transparency. You know that I'm always going to keep it 100% real on this channel regarding the economy and the real estate market. So here's the deal, guys. I personally believe the economy is a disaster waiting to happen. It's a total house of cards built on trillions of dollars of debt. People are massively in debt. So again, if you don't have to buy high-ticket items right now, try to save your money, batten down the hatches. I definitely think when it comes to the housing market, we're not going to see prices really come down most of this year. I think after this election year in 2025, that's when we're going to see better home prices. I know everybody's circumstances are different, especially when it comes to buying a home. Some people can wait things out. Some people are looking to buy right now. If you are thinking about buying a home, especially here in the Las Vegas area, I've got your back. I'm a local real estate agent here. I've lived here for nearly 20 years. I know every inch of this city. When that time is right for you, definitely reach out to me. Just call, text, or email me anytime, and I'll help you find that perfect dream home. I'll see you guys in the next video.